Good day, everyone. My name is Sandra Gajdos. We are the 28th of September today, and I am at the Green Party in Montreal today with Alex Tyrrell, the chief of the Green Party of Quebec. So I'm so happy to be here. So thank you for allowing me to come in here to interview you.
Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. So the reason why I came here today is because I feel like a lot of Quebecers, not that they don't understand politics too much, but you know, just like me, when I watch the news and politicians are talking, and sometimes it's hard to understand what they're talking about. It's hard to understand what different parties, envision within their parties. So my favorite party is the Green Party. I used to vote Liberal Party before, but I will never vote Liberal Party again. And I'm going to explain to you why after. The reason why I'm very attracted to the Green Party is that you know me, I'm a mother, I'm a natural therapist, I'm many things. I'm also an animal activist, and my environment and my children are the most important thing to me. Okay, so I have two little boys, and I want them to be healthy. I'm 42 years old. I don't know how long I'm gonna live, but I want to vote for the right party, a party that's gonna commit to protecting the environment, protecting our water, because our children need clean water to drink, to survive. We need clean air. We need clean soil for our children. Now, I feel that there's a lot of companies that are sort of taking over. They're taking over the government. It seems like they're more powerful than the government, because all they want to do is destroy land. Like let's cut down all the trees. Let's kill all the animals. Let's dump all our toxic waste down the St. Lawrence. And actually the beluga whales are like washing up shore, and they're found with like high levels of toxins in their bodies. Okay, so I'm very happy to be here. And Alex Tyrrell, he also graduated in environmental sciences, and congratulations, by the way. So that's a very good thing, because that's what Quebec needs. Okay, of course, in my heart, what's important to me is that the health of my children. And my heart also lies with the animals. Okay, and what's going on now is that we're continually destroying animals' habitats, and it's not okay. It's not okay. And the first time that I met Alex Tyrrell, it was actually at a protest at ITR Lab in Baie d'Urfé. It's a laboratory where they do animal testing, and horrible things go on in there. But anyhow, there was a big W5 report a few months ago that was aired on CTV. It's the group Last Chance for Animals who made that undercover video. Canadians were absolutely horrified. So I show up at the first protest, and who do I see there? Alex Tyrrell from the Green Party. The media was there, CBC, CTV, this and that, and no other political parties than the Parti vert, fighting with the citizens, and trying to fight and stick up for the animals who are stuck in labs. And there are about 3.5 million animals that are tortured to death in our Canadian labs every year, and it's not okay. So they were there, so I was very happy about that. So you love your environment, you love animals, and I know that you also that veganism is something important to you. That's just something I wanted to mention for a couple of seconds, because this is a problem we need to talk about. Okay, because now the planet is going through the 6th mass extinction of animals. So that means that there's about 60 billion animals dying worldwide every year, and then after a while, if there's no more animals left, then our whole ecosystem is not functioning anymore. So to protect, our land, our environment, for the animal habitats, to get the animals out of trouble, out of animal testing and things like that, I admire you, because my heart lies with that, okay? So my first question I have for you, since that, there's a lot of Quebecers just like me. I studied in political science, I had a few courses when I was in CEGEP. It's not what I studied when I was in university. So when I watch the news, I have a hard time understanding what politicians are talking about. So if you could just tell us, what does the Green Party want to achieve for Quebec? What do you envision? What do you want to see happen?
Okay, well, that's a great question. The Green Party of Quebec is an eco-socialist party, so it's a question of taking care of the environment, but also doing things like protecting the public healthcare system, defending access to education, and we really have a very complete program. So we really want to make sure that the government's decisions are taken in the best interest of the citizens. We think that right now there's a disbalance in Quebec government where the special interests and big business have their voices heard a lot more clearly by the government, and there's a lot of changes that can be made. So a lot of the big political parties in Quebec are kind of all going towards the center, and unfortunately there's very little difference of opinion on a lot of big environmental and economic issues between the Liberal Party, the Parti québécois, and the Coalition Avenir Québec.
It all sounds the same.
Yeah, they're very similar programs, they're similar people, they're in similar circles, and so it's unfortunate. And what the Green Party is trying to do is we're trying to put back some energy into the democracy, and we're trying to really put a lot of content back into it. So for example, when you see Green Party of Quebec signs in election campaigns, well, they always have like a political slogan, like protect our healthcare system, or stop the tar sands. So we're trying to put that back in and really trying to bring back some energy into the whole thing.
Okay, because I see that you guys are the only party. I'm not, I don't have a master's degree, in political science. I do understand that the basis of politics, but I know what I see. I know what I hear. I see what's going on around me. I read the news every day. I'm constantly, reading and everything. And the only party that I see trying to defend the animals, trying to defend the environment, trying to protect the health of our children. You were just at a company called Anacolor there in Cap Rouge. It's a big company where they make paint. And the problem is that there's so much poisonous fumes in the air that the kids in the schoolyard that are a few meters away, they can smell it. The parents are not happy about it, this and that. So you were there, trying to protect the children. Also, you have been at the city council in the West, Pointe-Claire, to try to defend the citizens too and to protect the environment, because there are huge PCB spills there on Jaimes Boulevard, and that's completely unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You guys are there to try to do something good and to tell this company to pick up their poison that they left there, because it's all the ground is contaminated. Also, the reason why I love him so much and the Green Party so much is that you go to a protest for the environment, like there's a big section of wetlands in Ville-Saint-Laurent, and there's a lot of rare birds that live there, a lot of little animals, a lot of wildlife in there, and it's important to protect. But now what's happening is that the Technopark, they want to bulldozer down this whole area, crush all the animals or whatever, and then they're in the city. They first of all, they starve, they die because you took away their habitat where they eat and all this stuff. They get hit by cars, they get crushed, whatever, this and that. Anyways, and I heard that now they're actually started to drain the water out, which upsets me. Yeah. But anyhow, it's just to say that they're the ones going there, with their signs, and the media was there, and the only political party that was there is the Parti Vert, trying to defend our land. And also there's another piece of wetland in Saint-Zotique, where people want to destroy this whole area, and it's not okay, because especially in Ville-Saint-Laurent, there's a lot of flat lands around that they could use instead of bulldozering down a wetland and putting cement on there and buildings on there, so people can go learn about nature. It makes no sense to me, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So the Parti Vert is behind me with that. Listen, so we know that you love children, you love the environment, you want us to have clean lakes, clean rivers. For big companies who are polluting our country, our province, they need to pick up their waste. Yep. Because even the drinking water is toxic. And what I wanted to ask you, because when I was talking to a few neighbors, they're asking, oh, you know, I love that they love the environment and the whole thing, but what about like our economy? You know, because we feel, us the Quebecers, you know, you get a paycheck and you feel like every single dollar that you make, it's like you're taxed on it like 10 times. Yeah. And it's very overwhelming and it's not fair. So from what I kind of understood is that you want to tax, you know, the richer.
The rich more, yeah.
You know,
rich,
so that this would give us more money for schools, for healthcare, for, you know, for the citizens. Yeah.
Like a lot of people in Quebec think that that we're very taxed here, and it's true that like the middle class is taxed really a lot in Quebec.
Yeah.
But the problem that we have is that once you reach $100,000 per year, you pay exactly the same percentage as somebody who is making $10 million per year.
Yeah.
And so, of course, like the middle class, where you get up to a really high tax bracket really quickly, but then after that, like there's very few mechanisms, you know, to really tax the richest people in Quebec, and we think that that's something that needs to change. And and also with big business, you know, there's a lot of multinationals making billions of dollars in Quebec that pay very little taxes,
and it's not fair.
We have you know, gold mines where we're giving away our minerals to private companies without asking for any kind of significant royalties. So there's a lot of decisions that have been made that really favor the rich and big business in Quebec, and the same people who make these decisions, you know, to favor them are the same people who are cutting in the school system, who are cutting in the hospitals and so on, and just cutting in social programs. So I mean, it's really a question of priorities, and unfortunately the provincial government's priorities are really in favor of a certain elite instead of really working the best interests of the general population.
Yeah, and then it's kind of, I would like to see Quebec where, you know, the citizens kind of take over, where, you know, our needs and demands and everything are heard, because now we're feeling like they're not heard, and they're not heard for the animals. That's one thing for sure. And you know, the water and our environment, our forests and everything, they can't speak for themselves, but we have to speak, because if we destroy all of our environment, then we have nothing. If we have no natural resources, we don't have anything. Our children won't be able to eat paper money or drink oil.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not going to work. So that's why I'm worried for my children. Okay, so maybe one last question. Now, you guys you're still looking for candidates, right, throughout Quebec. Yep. So if there are any of you, you know, who want to make a change in this world for Quebec, for Canada, please, you know, contact the Green Party, because if you want to be a candidate in your area, they would be more than happy to have more candidates, just so that the Parti Vert, the Green Party, becomes bigger, you know. And I would really want us to conquer the bad guys, like, sorry to say, because we're destroying everything for profits, and that's not good for our health, it's not good for animals, and it's not good for anybody.
One of the things that's enabled you know, the Liberal government to do all of these bad things is the fact that there's not really that many people who are actively involved in politics. And like the Green Party of Quebec now, we're preparing for the 2018 election. It's going to be in October 2018. And so we're hoping to present as many candidates as possible in the 125 different districts that there are across the province. And so as you've probably seen on our website, well, we've launched a recruitment campaign for this. There's a guide up there that shows you exactly what's involved in running for politics. And
it's very well explained in the site. If you want to become a candidate, it's very, very well explained.
Yeah. And a lot of people will say, like, well, you know, there's somebody else that's better than me to run for politics or something. And it's kind of funny that, you know, because we have really a lot of very qualified people who tell us, well, there's somebody else that's better. And the reality of politics is that the doors, at least in my experience, the doors are much wider open than a
That's
lot
it.
of people think.
Yeah.
And so it's really an accessible thing to do, to run as a candidate for the Green Party in the next election. It's not something that costs money.
Yeah.
You can have your voice heard. You can sometimes go and have a debate with
Absolutely.
the incumbent member of the National Assembly and so on. So
Yeah.
it's really a good opportunity to try and push values of environmental protection and social justice within the democratic system.
Okay, well, you have my vote. Okay, and I hope that more candidates are going to come forward. I want the Parti Vert to become huge. So I just wanted to thank you, from the bottom of my heart, because you're the only political party that's giving me hope. That's giving me hope for first of all my children, for our environment and our animals. Because I know that you love animals too, and that's something we need to discuss because it's starting to be very worrisome. So I just want to thank you very much for your time. It's so nice to see you today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come back, and you have my vote. And everybody, if you love your children, you love your province, you love your environment, if you don't like what's going on, big companies taking over and destroying our environment and, poisoning our water and stuff like that, please do the right thing and vote for the Green Party. Thank you very much, and have a great day.